Hi again, it's me, Gala. I'm here to tell you about how children develop a self-concept. So very early in life, when the infant is born, let's imagine an infant in their mother's arms, and there's a gaze that happens. The mother is gazing down at the baby while the baby is feeding, and the baby can see miraculously just far enough to be able to make out the features of the mother's face. And the emotion that's inscribed on that face is taken in by the baby and mirrored, because the baby, as all humans do, has mirror neurons, and mirror neurons recreate the emotion inside the baby, and that's how it's transmitted. It's like telepathy, okay? It's actually pretty amazing. The more positive faces that the baby takes in, the better it is, the better the self-image. The baby identifies with those faces and feels the joy and comes to own that joy and develops a self-concept that they are worthy and that their caregivers are trustworthy. And so this happens very early in infancy and continues throughout the lifespan, I think. But in terms of attachment theory, it's the first 3 years that really matter for the child's self-concept to grow. And so that's why trauma early in life really disrupts the self, because trauma is complex and is usually more than just an event. It's the way the adults deal with the event, that the way they cope with their feelings, the way it shows on their face or doesn't. If the adult is freezing or frozen, if the adult is enraged, that becomes part of the infant's self-concept if trauma's happening at that time, or toddler, right? So there's a bunch of research. I'm not going to go through it all because it's really, really a lot. And this kind of idea that trauma is a new field of study is wrong. All right, we've been studying early childhood events and how the child develops a self-concept since the 1950s at least, when the attachment research started to become well known, and earlier. So we have a ton of research as a society to back up what I'm saying. And yeah, it's important for us to know that there is a link. Children don't just forget what happens to them. Children might have what's called infantile amnesia, where we don't remember our infancies, right? Most of us don't remember anything really much until like 6 or 7 years old. But those early experiences live within the actual self-concept that is unconscious inside our minds. And our minds are physical. It is neurochemistry, patterns of neurochemistry that are ingrained at a very deep level. That's why the self-concept is so hard to shift. When there's been trauma in early childhood, in infancy, it is so difficult to be an integrated whole person, to have a self-concept that can include that trauma, but in a healthy way, right? It's a lifelong task to grow up, to become adult, to have issues and to learn from them, and to finally be able to look back and become free of the past. That's the adult task. It takes a long time. And for some of us, it's not possible. For some of us, we're hardwired now to be the way we are. So I deal with chronic depression that flares up when I'm too stressed. And I used to push through in order to accomplish great things, I thought. But I finally have learned that I am a sensitive person. I am hardwired to respond emotionally, not just an everyday response, but my inner child will respond emotionally as well. It's like I have a real being inside me, the traumatized being, as well as the healthy person, and they're working together. All right, so that's how I see things, and that's how early childhood is important. That's how infants develop a self-concept, a self-image, right, which becomes more and more complex as we grow. But the baseline, am I worthy, that happens early on. And if we have feelings of unworthy, there might be something to dig around and discover about our past relationships. All right, I hope you're doing all right. I love you lots, and I'll talk to you again soon.